welcome back to another exciting episode of Game Week 39. My name is Karichoro Matiz. I'm your host. As you know, I'm never alone. I'm with Mario here, the faithful Mario. Today is back with full energy. Welcome back, bro. How are you doing? How are you feeling, rather?
My man Bugala once said, you can't keep a good thing down, eh? What's happening, Game Week 39 World? We are back with another one.
You know what it is.
You know what it is. It's clobbering time. It's laughing at Kato time. It's laughing at Liverpool time. It's laughing at the managers who are making us average 26.
Yeah.
But we will get into that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man. Some headlines. We know Arsenal shed some spoils at Goodison Park with Everton, against Everton, rather, I should say. And Everton beating Notting, the hot Notting that has been, doing very well this season. We're also going to touch on Liverpool dropping points, the second loss of the season, ending that 26 game week unbeaten, or rather 26 games unbeaten run. And Southampton is relegated, my friend. You've been speaking about Southampton. I'm sure you celebrated. I'm sure you celebrated. You had a champagne there when you saw that.
I've got nothing to celebrate.
And then Manchester Derby ends in a draw. But all of that, we're going to be jumping into it with Mario here and breaking down and giving you all the analysis from what we saw and what we thought about that. But Mario, let's get into it without wasting any time. Everton won, Arsenal won. I was celebrating this scoreline. But I was also a bit hesitant because I was like, I bet it's not like we won already. We're still going to play. We're not playing an easy fixture, but we're going to jump into that one. But your thoughts, Everton won, Arsenal won?
I don't see why you'd celebrate that scoreline because, it's not like Arsenal will catch you.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Arsenal is not capable.
Everton is not capable.
What they're talking about. But they like finishing second. The ladies first kind of guy.
Okay.
But disappointing by Arsenal, I guess. Trossard, Ryan Sterling assist. Equalized with the penalty in the second half. The most disappointing thing, I guess, is Arsenal conceding.
Yeah.
And I guess for managers who bought in Saka, it's obviously that.
Oh my God.
One.
I was about to say that I see you survived that, knee-jerk reaction. You didn't get in Saka.
No, I advised you guys that for 33 as the best double. I didn't say jump on the guy.
Yeah.
His second game back into the league because Everton is a tough game away.
Yeah.
So it was always gonna be difficult for them. I think maybe he might perform better in his upcoming fixture.
100.
But yeah, lazy result, I guess, for Arsenal.
And your boy Ndiaye is the one that got onto the score sheet now.
The penalty.
And that is his first game back.
Injured still. And
wait, he's injured again? No, Ndia.
Ndia is back.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he's on penalty score.
Oh, yes. 100.
Still out injured. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's a good result for Everton coming from 1-0 down. I guess it's an expected result for Arsenal. Yeah. But they could have at least given us the clean sheet, seeing as Gabriel's injured. But FPL wise, I think they will keep clean sheets going forward.
All right.
Everton is a tricky fixture. So it's just about those Gabriel replacements, actually.
Yeah.
Who do you bring in? Do you bring in Saliba? Yeah, I saw Kiwara.
Is it still a priority though for managers? I mean, come on, clean sheets. If you're still playing on clean sheets, Munoz is probably the best bet. But which team is really doing well in clean sheets?
I mean, if you intend on the bench boosting in 33,
yes,
which looks like most managers are.
Correct.
I would think.
Okay, that makes sense. At least in Arsenal
with double gaming players, and I mean, if, for example, you jump on a Kiwari or Timber. Okay, I think Timber is injured. I'm not sure if he played, but so one of the cheaper ones, Tierney, so he came back, and Ben White is expensive and Saliba, so you'd have to pick your poison there. But if you jump on one of those, Saliba, for example, is nailed on. That's 6 points. Maybe one of the games is a 0-0. He gets a bonus point.
Yeah.
We're talking about 15 points in double game week for an Arsenal defender. So, I mean,
the
are you
opportunities
Are you
there.
gonna snuff your nose at 15 points?
Palace 2, Brighton 1. Palace have been doing well. Brighton were doing well. I think they seem to be pulling back from that. I think I spoke about this in the previous pod. But you brought in Mateta, nah? And he's got a spectacular goal. I don't know if you have Mateta, but he's got a brilliant goal. Yes, you do have him.
But
He's got a very beautiful early goal against Brighton in this fixture.
I figure out if I just bought him and all. No, I had him the previous game. He blanked.
Yes.
Because I bought him, Mamus, and Isak back. Because I had gotten rid of Isak for Wood.
Yeah.
And then I bought Isak and Mateta back. Isak returned, Mateta didn't.
And then now Mateta has returned.
And I'm hoping Isak's Ferrari hat trick.
God forbid. God forbid Isak does anything. I hope he has a stomach bug, and he doesn't even start. Who's gonna be your vice, Salah?
They're quite depressing. But if Isak does start and he puts on the show, you know, he can put on. It will put them fifth, which now officially is a Champions League place in the Premier League, fifth position. So
tell us a bit more about that.
Again, there's a point system in Europa. The UEFA Champions League have added extra places into the Champions League. So there's a point system that works across all European formats: Conference League, Europa League, and Champions League. Whichever league amongst the three leagues has the most wins accumulates the most points, wins, draws. Obviously count for different points, but wins and draws give you more points. So the English Premier League have the most points in an unassailable lead at the moment, with Aston Villa obviously in the quarterfinals, Manchester United and Tottenham in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and Chelsea in the quarterfinals.
So it's going to be a good season for Premier League next season in Champions League.
Nottingham Forest to slide right into fifth. It's just motivation pushing Man City into sixth, and keeping Chelsea there in the fourth position.
Okay. Chelsea's still hanging on. I can't believe it.
It'll hang on by goal difference. Newcastle.
All right.
But Isak had trick. But back to Palace, Brighton. Like I was explaining to you, if Brighton had just managed to draw with Palace, they would have jumped a position up, forcing Aston Villa a position down, making that win against Nottingham Forest just that much more, worth more, and I would have scored.
I was about to say that context. Mario's talking about his chip that he played, assistant manager. But I want us to move on. We've dwelled on this fixture, but it was three red cards were issued here.
In the Palace-Brighton
game. In the Palace-Brighton game. 2 for Palace and 1 for Brighton. Quite crazy. Luckily, it was not Munoz, or it was not Mateta or Sa or Isa or Eze
or any of the
favorites. Correct.
But crazy scenes there at Selhurst Park. But good win for Palace.
No, it was a good watch. I watched this whole game. It was I really enjoyed it. It was filled with everything for a neutral. Okay, let's move on. Villa 2-1 Notting. Rogers scores again. But I mean, Aston Villa is definitely fighting. Aston Villa is pushing, as you said earlier, fighting to try and get into the Champions League spot. It's looking very interesting. I mean, I don't think fighting for Champions League has been as exciting in a long time. Notting is there, Chelsea is there, City is there, Villa is there, Newcastle is coming on.
Nottingham Forest can do us a favor and
Fulham is there.
And continue with the form that they're in. And get smacked around one or two more times, maybe 3 or 4 more times. I wouldn't mind.
Notting.
Call it GBV. But just smack Nottingham around a little bit. Aston Villa have opened the floodgates, I hope. And they'll return to default settings. They can play Europa, it's fine. But they have no business in the Champions League. because next season they're not gonna be the team that they are now, and I fear for their well-being. in the Champions League. They're not Aston Villa. Aston Villa has quite some quality players, but yeah.
I'm looking at the score at the table here. Chelsea 53 points, City 52 points, Villa 51 points. Newcastle is yet to play tonight, and they're sitting on 50 points. Hectic. Fulham is not far, 48 points. This is
they're far enough not to worry about. I think to be honest, and they're not that consistent. I think this is gonna be down to Newcastle, Aston Villa, Man City, and Chelsea, and Nottingham Forest.
I think Nottingham can hold on.
No, I think they'll get pulled down into that because they're about 5 points.
You reckon? You think they're tired as well?
4 points. You saw it. You saw it for yourself against the Ways Wood.
Wood is injured.
We were talking about what you call this, Wood being their savior. Where is he now? You see, like you said, he's injured. I had to sell him for Mateta. So you see, no savior for them. So it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and I see Ilanga is also injured.
Yeah, Ilanga picked up a knock this past weekend.
And things are not looking good, eh?
So, hey, and they don't have the squad depth that they need. That's what I'm saying. What are they going to go do at the Champions League? They can't play Carabao Cup, Champions League, FA Cup, and Premier League.
Who knows? Maybe some Arab investors are gonna come through.
They're gonna add because they'll get
some money, hundreds, and also finishing in the top 3.
Not enough quality. They won't be able to sign enough quality players.
And also gelling. I mean, it takes time for teams to really gel and have the consistency and the winning mentality on top of that.
No name players that are like pretty spectacular wherever they are, and hope that it translates into the bigger
into something. Okay, Mario, let's move on. Brighton held you guys 0-0 against Brentford. Sorry, against Chelsea. I saw Palmer return to your one. But your thoughts on that game? I think Jackson's absence is still very visible. No?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're keeping clean sheets as well. I mean, that was a problem at some point at the start of the season. You were scoring goals, but you were also conceding a lot. Now you seem to be, solid at the back.
Yeah, and I'll definitely credit that to Caicedo and Reece James.
And what about Sanchez? He's back on the post as well.
Nah.
You don't rate him. So basically, you don't rate any of your goalkeepers.
Let's not even go there, my guy. The ones I hate are not even at the club. They're off at loan.
Hectic.
I rate Kepa better than any keeper we have.
He had a great season at Madrid. Eh?
He's having a great season at Bournemouth at the moment, keeping them in there.
Yeah.
And I'll also say the best ball-playing goalkeeper in Europe actually belongs to Chelsea. He just doesn't play there.
Yeah.
Which is Petrovic, amongst the top European leagues.
Yeah.
He has he's number 1 on all the statistics: passing accuracy, long passes, short passes, all of that. So, I don't rate Sanchez. But back to Chelsea and Brentford. Brentford had their moments. Chelsea, I would say, controlled majority of their game. They had 1 or 2 good chances to win that game. Maybe take a 1-0 lead, hold on to it. Jackson and Palmer didn't start. Quite a few of the boys, Jackson, Palmer, Cucurella, they came off the bench in the second half. So I guess the manager was trying to get like a second win.
Yeah.
Using the regulars in that way. I guess it took them a little bit to warm up to the game. Maybe you should have just started them and seen what happens with the regular starters. But I guess a draw is fair enough.
That's fair. Also given the fact that you guys were playing away now.
Yeah, Chelsea still have good fixtures going forward, but no double game weeks. So I can't really say if I would look at them. I'm going to hold on to Palmer. Obviously, I think they play Ipswich or something next, which is a good fixture. Obviously, I believe Palmer will start that game. just needs one goal to get going. I think maybe if he does play in the Conference League, he gets that goal. It can be
probably a catalyst for
a nice
that
weekend.
momentum. Yeah,
And then all the managers have sold him.
and they did.
Yeah, we'll be by swallowing that.
All right, Mario. The fixture that was quite disappointing. I really do wish I could just skip over this one. But I mean, we talk about Chelsea on the bad days. So I think for the whole season, as much as they were not doing well, even in the past couple of seasons. But yeah, man, Fulham. We lost 3-2 to Fulham. I just thought we were very, very poor in that game. I think too many defensive errors. I think most of the goals that came in. Yes, we can say it's a bit unlucky for was this Jones with a cross that came in. He wasn't expecting it. It ricochets and then it falls right into the path of the Fulham player. He scores fine, and then Van Dijk. I feel like Van Dijk quite disappointing for me. Disappointing for me for Van Dijk. To yeah, man. I think he could have done better with the ball that he had to defend there, and looking for a foul, saying that he was pushed by Munoz. Disappointing, my friend. But I was sitting there watching it. I'm frustrated. I'm shouting. I'm swearing.
Very quiet in the group.
Of course, I was quiet. I had nothing to say. I thought maybe we stood a chance in coming back, probably equalizing. Avi was unlucky hitting the post. But I also didn't feel like we created enough chances like how we usually are.
Where was Salah?
Salah was there.
Did he start the game?
He started the game, played 90 minutes.
Okay. How do you rate his performance?
Man. I mean, I feel like he's done so much this season. So the other guys should have at least stepped up. Jota was there. Gakpo, I don't know. I know Diaz came in and he had a good influence in the game. But I was also expecting a lot from Gakpo, given that he had started and he hadn't been playing for quite some time. So, but yeah, I don't know. Your thoughts? Maybe I'm talking nonsense here.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with the analysis. Yeah, Liverpool's 26 game unbeaten run.
Yep, comes to an end.
Away from home, broken at the hands of Fulham. What more is there to say though? That's it. Like you said, we wanted to
There's nothing more to say.
Into the Champions League conversation. Wow. Fulham, because they beat Liverpool. All of a sudden, Fulham.
No, man, they're a decent team. They're a decent team. I think we can give them. We can give them that.
For the Champions League, come on, let's be
not Champions League, but we can give them that they're a decent team.
Definitely.
Especially this season, I think they're gonna probably be finishing the highest they've ever finished in the history.
In the history of
Fulham, yeah. No, I think I'll look that up and then we'll check.
Definitely look that up.
But yeah, I thought Basi had a great game actually. He was doing the things.
Maybe you guys should go sign.
Robinson.
Where's Gravenberch?
He was there. He was pushing.
That guy.
For me, I think the player.
5 games into the season. Hey, FPL, what was you guys saying? PFA player of the year.
No. I think Gravenberch has been quite instrumental in how we play.
But I'm even looking into the numbers. I'm trying to say, okay, most completed passes by midfield. I'm looking for Gravenberch. It's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, at least most tackles by midfield. Gravenberch.
It's Caicedo there.
Number 1. The most tackles.
I'll have to check and confirm.
Most one tackles. He's fighting with it's him and who's that other guy?
From which team?
But I'll check.
We'll check.
But it's him and some guy from some lowly team. Maybe you guys should go sign. Those are the two that are fighting for.
I think we can move on from this one. Tottenham 3-1. They were the nail that the final nail to the coffin. Southampton are gone. Not a surprise. I mean, you've been speaking about Southampton quite vocally on the show. Everybody knows that you knew that Southampton is probably the weakest worst team in football right now.
You know how many points Southampton has? 10.
10 points?
10 from 31 games.
That is insane.
And they're averaging 0.
That is insane.
0.3 points.
Minus 51 goal difference. That is wild.
10 points.
conceded 74 goals.
74 goals. They concede 2.2 goals a game.
Sure.
They're collecting a staggering 0.3 points per match.
That is wild.
They need 4 games to collect 1.2 points.
Maji, you continue with the numbers here, they're gone. But is there anything else you want to add? I don't think we can even give Tottenham flowers, man.
How do you get
Everyone has been eating them.
That's considered. Check how many goals. I want you to see something. Let's see how many goals Southampton have scored this season.
I think we were checking that they conceded 74. Sorry, they conceded 74, and then they've scored 23.
23 in 31 games.
In 31 games.
31 games. They've played some teams twice.
Correct. And they're struggling to get goals. No, but the numbers speak for themselves. I think them even being relegated, there's nothing more.
To score a goal against Spurs is impressive. Yeah, there's not. Spurs is a dead team, a lost cause. They did what they were supposed to do at home. I expect nothing less from them. If they had, expect less from Spurs. I honestly think they are capable of losing that game. I think it was even 1-1 at some stage. So, yeah. Or if it was not 1-1, it was 2-1.
All right.
It was much closer.
Yeah.
Than the 3-1 score suggests.
Hectic. Let's move on. The last fixture that I have here, the Manchester derby ending in a goalless draw. I think I watched just the first half of this game. But I got some good points from Guardiola. And I don't think there's nothing more to talk about there. I mean, United, in the opening few minutes, they seemed as if, they could have scored. I think they were creating opportunities, but the finishing was shocking. I mean, there's this, I think it's a centre back or a left back, Dogu.
But I don't even want to comment on that because I mentioned this guy like 3 or 4 times. This Dogu guy.
Yeah, he's been turned. So
I mentioned this guy.
I saw the setup that they gave him. I was like, what is this guy actually trying to do?
3 or 4 different games.
Yeah.
I mentioned this nigga. And there was that game where he scored the own goal and Woman and them in the group.
They went crazy.
They were busy blaming Onana.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm like, okay, but what do you want Onana to do? Even if he's standing on his line, if that guy kicks that ball like that, it's going to go inside the net. What do you want him to do? It's either going inside the net or Onana is going to have to save it and it gets deflected.
So it was bound to be a goal.
So it was going to always be a goal. What is that guy supposed to do? He was supposed to clear that ball out instead of trying to pass a keeper who you can see is not.
I remember this one. I think it's man. It is not the back pass. No?
It's the back pass.
The back pass.
The one that when
Onana
came out, he stands like this.
Yes.
Dogu back passes it there into the net.
And
Onana is standing here. I'm like, who are you passing to?
Okay. I remember.
So I mean, and just many examples.
I saw that setup. I saw the setup that they gave him. I wasn't sure. Was he trying to trap? Was he trying to shoot? But his body was looking so weird.
I don't understand how that guy plays football.
For Manchester United.
No, you guys accept anything. I must also put in my application.
You think you might have a career?
I think I might get a shot at United.
They'll call you, my guy. They'll call you.
But yeah. 0-0. The ones I'm disappointed in here is Manchester City. How do you feel to beat a struggling Manchester United that has no identity?
Yeah.
It knows
but which Manchester City are we talking about? Which Manchester City are we talking about? Because this Manchester City. I was looking at KDB. Were you watching the game? Were you watching the game? Were you watching the game?
Bernardo Silva.
What was De Bruyne doing? What was De Bruyne doing there? Because he was running like a headless chicken. He didn't even know what he was playing.
Did you see that formation? 1-2. What was it? It was 2-7-1. The 2 defenders. Which other defenders were in that team? Because it was Ruben Diaz
and
Guardiola. Who were the other defenders in that team?
That other boy who plays.
O'Reilly is a midfielder.
O'Reilly is a midfielder. And who was playing on the right?
Is it not Bernardo Silva or Savinho or something?
Yeah, because I saw Savinho, Mamouche was there.
It was
Savinho,
Mamouche,
Kovacic,
Kovacic,
Bernardo, Foden, De Bruyne.
O'Reilly.
Hectic. Yeah, and they couldn't butcher.
7. I mean, and Man United, and to the credit, Man United couldn't score either. That's two defenders in the.
But
Hey, so you wanted to throw me with popcorn. But I mean, how do you feel this is going to be? Wayland is useless.
Helen is useless.
I'm in the Ghana show. I saw the niggas in the group.
No. What I was finding fascinating, they're like, Ganacho is worse than Rashford. And I'm like, but United fans are somehow.
They literally said, with Rashford, at least it's better. He can play. He just doesn't want
to play.
With Garnacho, he just doesn't want to play.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. That guy for like 50 or 60 million. I'm like, yo, if my team signed this guy, oh my god. I mean, Sancho.
But did you see who was getting compliments in that same group? You know what? Who was getting compliments in the group?
There's someone who got compliments.
Your former player, Mount. Mount was getting compliments. I'm like, how is Mount being complimented? Garnacho is now called, he can't play. Rashford is even better. I'm like, you know, Man United fans, you guys didn't know. You chop and change.
In all honesty, in all honesty, I'll tell you this. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, I can't stand them. Once upon a time, I loved those boys like they were my own family.
You did.
Kai Havertz was my wallpaper once upon a time. So I won't even lie to you. It was like my wallpaper once upon a time. Those boys are very good. This will be the first, not the first time saying, but the last time I'll probably say. Kai Havertz, very talented. Very talented. It's just, he needs to learn how to finish more or find his position. I don't think he's a striker.
Does he have time to learn how to do that at his age?
But then he has that cold-bloodedness in him. He has these moments where he's clinical. He can finish with the best of them, Messi. And then there are times where you're like, what the fuck? And then Mason Mount, very talented. Back to the Man United and Man City. Mason Mount, very talented. The boy who had a dream. He had a dream at Chelsea. Apparently, he turned around. He said that dream was for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Fine.
And Lampard left.
But, I mean, he was talented. I mean, I remember when he chose Liverpool and he's playing the piano. Hey, mama. That boy, there was a time... I
don't even remember, but it's fun.
There was a time when the Chelsea won the Champions League, in my eyes, he was better than Phil Foden.
Okay, so back to the fixture. He played and apparently was doing very well. I was quite shocked to see that Mount was even getting compliments. But anyway, that was the Manchester derby and it ended in a goalless draw. I think very disappointing for a fixture that was highly touted. I mean, yeah, there's nothing much to talk about that. Green, red arrows on your side, Mario, this past game week?
At the moment, it's all green.
Just away now. Huh? How things change. Yeah, my friend. You were suffering.
Like my friend. I'm even lying. Nigga doesn't even know. But Bugalav, like Kawelo once said, Bugalav, you can't keep a good man down.
Can't keep a good man down.
And I said to you, Katu, while we were off air, we've got 7 game weeks to go. You are 54 points ahead of me.
Yeah.
If you fumble this, hey.
Remember that
it will be equivalent to you dropping the soap. Not dropping the ball, dropping the soap.
Okay.
In the shower. At Paul's no prison. But anyway.
Last season we made a bet. You bought me a beer and a burger. Do you want to bet that you won't catch me for another beer and burger for this season?
Yeah.
Do you want to bet? No. You seem so confident.
You seem into like a 600 rand.
No. Let's. Are we betting or are we not betting?
But we can bet.
We'll take it to 1.2.
We can bet.
So we're betting on the pod again this season. Mario's gonna catch me. That's what he says. If he catches me, I owe him a beer and a burger. But if he doesn't, he owes me a beer and a burger. We shall see. But Mario, I'm sitting on 27 points. Disappointing. Just 1 point above average. I think the average is 26 now.
Did you not take any minuses?
No, I didn't take any minus. So that is where I captained Salah back to back, not returning any points. You're sitting on a very handsome 43 points there. And with your captain Isak yet to play. But he has a triangle. He has a triangle. This excitement. I don't know why you're so excited. Have you seen the starting sheet, the starting 11? Did you see Did you watch the press conference?
Eddie, how can he have one of two choices? He wants to play Champions League or he doesn't want to play Champions League.
So he's going to throw the man in
If he wants to play Champions League, that boy Alexandra Isak
must be part of the starting
better
11.
play in his team. If he doesn't want to play Champions League, then he can do what he's
If Newcastle wins, they will be sitting, well, depending on by how many goals they score.
It doesn't matter how many they score. They're not going to score 6-0.
Wait, they don't need to score 6.
How many do they need to score?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they don't need to score 6.
Like 8-0.
Yeah. So basically, if Newcastle wins tonight, they are sitting in 5th position. So basically, they're leapfrogging Aston Villa and Manchester City. And they'll be sitting joint equal with Chelsea. Do you guys have to play each other at some point?
Yes, we do.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting.
No, is it? It's either them or Nottingham Forest that we have to play, but...
All right, but that is Isak.
Oh, yes. In fact, yeah, but we have a murderous row. But Liverpool, you're right.
Okay. No, but I'll keep this on record.
Newcastle. Okay, then we have Newcastle.
Yeah.
Man United, you're right. And then Nottingham Forest. So we have our destiny in our own hands. These next 3 games we have to win, absolutely must win. And then we have Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, and Nottingham Forest. So literally, if we want to play Champions League, obviously these 3 games we have to win. We can't drop points like Liverpool against Fulham. But we have we have to make sure at least against Newcastle. But what also is good, Newcastle play Villa in that double. So it's gonna be one of them has to drop points.
For your sake. For sake.
For my sake.
No, I'm saying
one of them have to drop points.
For your sake, what you said, I'm hoping it doesn't. We don't have to replay it. All the teams that you said Zorata. In translation, he's saying it's a water under the bridge. So they're guaranteed points there.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, it's a cakewalk. But anyway, that's how things are standing, Mario. So you're likely going to score more points given the fact that you still have a captain to play and a player to play. And looking at the standout players, Johnson from Tottenham, he took advantage of suffering or a struggling Southampton that just got relegated. He scored 18 points, voted king of the game week. As things stand, we know that there's still Isak and Newcastle to play. He scored 2 goals. This is Johnson, and also assisted. His market value is 6.2 million, and he's owned by just 2.4% of managers. So kudos to those managers that probably brought him in just to take him out with that wild card. Nice one, they managers.
Like that sometimes.
Yeah, no, you know what it is. And then Iwobi, the Nigerian boy is shining at the expense of Liverpool. He scored a goal and also assisted. 5.5 million, that's his market value. Iwobi, I think he had a good game. 4.1% of ownership. That's what those were the managers that got some returns and the investment that they made for Iwobi. And then lastly on the list we have Ev Nelson from Bournemouth. He scored also 13 points, so he's joint equal with Iwobi, making this top 3 list of ours with 2 goals and an assist. 5.8 million, that's his market value, and he's owned by 4.3% of managers. So it's only differentials in a way. All of them under 5% that made up this top 3 list. So kudos to those managers that actually did have them. And like I said, if you've been bringing them in just to take them out, you did very well.
Isak is going to be king of the game. It's coming.
We shall see. The very same way that Brighton should have equalized and what your cheap strategy would have assistant manager.
I would have gotten like my 7 more.
Anyway, but maybe just to recap also, we're going to keep recapping this until the end of the season. As we did say, we gave a very detailed episode on the cheap strategies. Those of you that have gone through those videos and seen the content that we've put out, you guys will see how things are panning out for you guys. If you've gone with cheap strategy number 1, cheap strategy number 2, or cheap strategy number 3. So yeah, man, managers, this is the time to crunch. It's not a shaky warrior season, this one. So most managers are going to be playing their wild cards. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the chip that is played the most this coming game week because of anticipation of game week 33, where managers are going to be playing bench boost. So look out for that, managers. I think all of the three strategies are saying bench boost on 33. If you're like Mario, you're probably sitting with an assistant manager that is still active.
No, I gave my chip strategy number 4, Katu.
Yeah.
Why aren't you talking about chip strategy number 4?
Give us chip strategy number 4,
I gave it last week, don't you? And I said for everyone who still has all their chips,
yeah,
I would say that you play your chip in 31,
your assistant manager.
Which will run for 31, 32. You put on a double game week manager 33. You also have another variety of double game week managers to move it on. Obviously, this is contingent on having prepared for double game week in preparation.
Yeah.
And other transfers, maybe you might have to take a minus or two.
Yeah.
And then play your free hit in the biggest blank,
which is 34.
Then your wild card in 35.
Okay.
In 36, which is predicted to be the biggest double gaming, you bench boost. And then you decide in 37 or 38 how you finesse your competition with your triple captain.
Okay, so you are saying on 36, you're not triple captaining. You're leaving it to 37 and 38.
On 33. Oh, yeah, on 36, I'm not triple captaining.
You are not.
Yeah.
And you're anticipating.
I played a good enough game. I'm lying. This is probably one of my worst performances, but like I said, I always finish strong. I'm finishing pretty strong. So the way I see it, I don't need a double gaming to play my triple captain.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary. I think I can rough shot it on one of the
other chips.
Probably on the final day when either Salah is chasing a record or something along those lines, where he might return something close to a double game week score.
All right. Maybe just to quickly have a look, Salah will be playing Palace. So it's not an easy one as well, that one, if Palace continues to play well. City will be playing Fulham. We don't know if the machine that we've known for the past couple of seasons will be back. And then Newcastle will be playing Everton, also not an easy fixture given the form in which Everton is in. Notting to Chelsea. That one we can write it off. Chris Wood. I think Chelsea will also be fighting for top 4 position. Southampton will be playing Arsenal. Maybe Saka there.
Yes.
You know, we shall see. We shall see.
Maybe
it can go anyway.
Maybe Liverpool would have dropped the scope and Arsenal will be knocking right behind them on the final day. Who do Liverpool play on the final day? Palace.
They play Palace.
But I think Liverpool have quite a good record against Palace, actually.
Well, we do. But no. We started, our wheels started falling off against Palace last season.
Really?
Yeah, it was the last 3 games when we.
I remember Salah scoring quite a lot against Palace.
Scoring is one thing, winning is another.
Okay, well, Salah has a pretty good record against Palace.
But given that we're speaking about triple captain, so it doesn't matter in terms of the results. The FPL managers. All right, Mario, our time is running up. Running out. Let's look at the upcoming fixtures for Game Week 32. I've just shortlisted Palace, City and Palace. And I have Arsenal versus Brentford. There's Liverpool versus West Ham, a rejuvenated West Ham. Newcastle has a double. I think I might be missing another team with a double. It's not just Newcastle.
It's Aston Villa as well.
Aston Villa has 2 games.
Oh, is it Aston Villa? No, it's Palace. Sorry.
No, you're right. Aston Villa. No, sorry. It's Palace and Newcastle. Yeah. Yes, so Newcastle play United and Palace. All right, yeah. So Newcastle and Palace, and then Palace has, just to confirm again, man. Palace has City and Newcastle. All right, yeah. So I don't know, Mario, which fixture is standing out? I think the Newcastle fixture. I mean, given how Isak has been doing well.
Aston Villa still need to play each other as
well. We're speaking about Game Week 32. Which fixture stands out for you?
32. Obviously the doubles. for Palace.
Palace and Newcastle.
And Newcastle.
Yeah.
Mainly Newcastle. I'm attracted to Newcastle, but I'm probably gonna swing more towards Palace because they double back to back.
Yeah.
But I already have 2 Palace players. Probably try and bring in one more. Might take a -8. Yeah. Try bring in one more Palace player. But yeah, Villa versus Southampton. Villa have been in good form.
Yeah.
Asensio started against Nottingham Forest in that 2-1 win. So Rodgers as well, of course. Very good to look at.
Yeah, 100%.
Wolves versus Spurs. Cunha will be back for that game. His first game back after his suspension for that straight red. Yo, it hurt me so much. The points that man would have racked up and those fixtures that Wolves had would have been mouth-watering.
Yeah.
But anyway, he plays Spurs, we all know, conceded against Southampton. So if they can concede against Southampton,
they're going to get some hands.
We had scored 22 goals before that and scored the 23rd against them. I mean, Wolves can go to work there. Yeah.
All right, and then captaincy in those fixtures. I think most managers will probably be targeting the double game weeks as well, no?
Yeah, most definitely. Captaincy.
Isak Mateta,
I think are top of the tree. Maybe if you're on a good differential, you can do something with Aston Villa, maybe an Asensio or Rashford if you think. I think he might get a start sooner or later. Watkins, since the new signings, I don't know if he's been intimidated or what. But then I think it shows a lot because even when he goes to England, he's not the player that he is for Villa at England, which is quite funny because I think Ivan Toney actually plays better than Watkins for England than Watkins does.
Just currently now with the recent international fixture.
Not recently, but I mean like in the past before he went to obviously
Saudi.
So I don't think Thomas Tuchel is gonna select him.
No.
He's playing in Saudi, but I mean before that, he was Tony. Just looked like he has that confidence where it's like he belongs. Watkins, it's like he shrinks.
He gets intimidated by Kane and company.
And all those Bellinghams and then Power Man, then you're like, okay. So yeah, I would probably go Rodgers instead there or Asensio.
Yeah.
Maybe Rashford gets a start. But yeah, probably Isak, Mateta, Eze.
Those are the likely captains that you're shortlisting.
Those are probably the 3. I think Eze is always good for an assist or 2.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
And I think he has a lower ownership than. Oh no, does he? Yeah, I think he does then Star.
All right, and then
so funny enough, Eze was probably the bigger star. Or probably generally technically more gifted than Star. It's got less ownership. Funny how that works.
All right. You heard, managers. That is the analysis from Game Week 39, brought to you by Mario in terms of the possible captaincy that you guys can go for. But Mario, I think maybe before we run out of time, we can look into our mini league. We see that in first position, JP is still leading. I think he's. I don't want to say he's running with it because he's only 9 points ahead of Petro, who's second. So Petro is just so JP is sitting on 2,070 points, and we have Petro coming in with 2,061 points. So the gap is very tight. It's very it's a captain. It's just a right captain, a player being benched. A vice captain armband. Those type of things. Isak not playing, and then it goes to Salah, and then the other guy having Captain Rogers. You know what I'm saying? And then third, we see that Moteo has been demoted. Shelby Company is back. Kyle, coming through with the 2070. He still has a bit of catching up to do. I think almost 50 points or so. But yeah, I think this top 3 is not coming as a surprise. I think these are the managers that have been competing. Neil is rising from the ashes. Neil is coming through in 5th position there. We see Neil having scored 39 points. So, yeah, I think our inaugural champion is trying to show that, hey, I'm not too far. Ryan is also right in there on 6th position. And then Dixon, our very own, he's been shining this season. Dixon is in 7th position, climbing, chasing. So shout out
Dickie.
Shout out, Mr.
Sons
Diar.
of Dixon. Dixon's son. Dixon's. What is that? Does he have a new name?
These guys.
But no, why did you change Dixon? Dixon's son. Dixon's.
Yeah. So shout out, and then to finish up the top 10, Pinduro Mashamba has been also on the show. Red Visions FC.
Pinduro is not Pedo, ne?
No. There's Pedo FC.
Hey,
Pedo probably lost his account.
No, but he's still there. I think but he went
no,
down.
It's the 35th.
Hey, he went down.
Yeah.
Remember Pedo was up there.
He was fighting. Pedo, what's going on? Hey!
Yeah, around too many playgrounds. It doesn't happen.
Yeah, things are rough. What is that? I'm looking at the log here. I'm seeing some names. Butcher's Knife FC. Butcher's Knife. Hey, my guy. Times change. Times change.
It'll probably be the first time he's ever finished ahead of me.
I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. But yeah, man, that is the top 10. Hey, Raul is in 15th position. Raul played his triple captain in Game Week 3. He was on the summit for quite some time as well.
A lot of people did play that triple captains already.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about not playing it on a double.
Yeah. All right. That was our mini league and how it stands. So kudos to those managers that are fighting at the top. It's that time of the season where you have to finish the job. It doesn't matter whether you've been leading for so long. The crown can be snatched from you, as J. Cole says, while you're still busy thinking you've won it. But yeah, before we close, many thanks to our viewers, our listeners. We cannot emphasize how important your support is to the show and how you keep us going. You saw Mario was on his hospital bed in the last episode, but he showed up just for you guys. So we appreciate every one of you guys. Just remember that we are available on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep. Like, follow, subscribe.
You know what it is, and
like that.
On audio, we are available on I think all the major podcast platforms, and we're also on video. In case you didn't know, if you're listening to this via audio, so we are on video. Game Week 39 podcast. Do follow us, hit the bell, and you'll never miss a show. The deadline for Game Week 32 is Saturday the 12th at 12 p.m. So yeah, I think back to regular schedule in terms of when we usually have to have our team set up. But besides that, Mario, we're going into Game Week 32. We're counting down the games. And counting down the games. How many games?
Seven games left. You guys stop playing. You guys better stop playing.
Yeah. Let's close it, Mario. Yeah?
Well, like Katu said, like I always say, keep your eyes on the screens. Like, follow, subscribe, support us. We appreciate the support. And like I always say, men lie, women lie. But our numbers will never lie to you, baby.
Numbers never lie. You heard. And from us, we shall catch you guys in the next episode. We out. Cheers.
Peace.